Pallavi Ahluwalia. Good morning, Pallavi. How are you?
A wonderful morning to you, Mitu. Thank you so much for allowing me to patch in on your time this morning. During your time this morning, we're here with Business Matters as always on Wednesdays. We try and come in anytime between 10:30 and 11. I think today we're past 11. So let's just go ahead and see if we have callers. And I don't have that visibility because you are seeing the calls coming in, and be happy to answer them.
Yes, there are a number of them, and people have been calling me since 10:30. So thank you all for your patience. So let's go straight on to the questions. 972-235-5555. Go on to taking more calls. This is your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Going to our first caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
I have a question related to B2 visa extension. My parents have visited US 4 times from 2009. The first 2 trips were in gap of 2 years, and the third one was in 2015 for 6 months, and after a gap of 6 months they came back. And this time I am planning to do the extension. So my first question is it advisable to do so? And second thing is, if I do and if it get denied, then will the visa be revoked?
Yes. So let me answer the last question first. And that is that if the B1 extension, B2 extension within the country gets denied, then so will their B1 visa, B2 visa. So they'll have to go back for stamping again. That's a given. Now, if they've been staying here quite a lot, then I would not advise filing. If you have a valid reason, they're visiting. So the reasons for filing extensions in the country while somebody's here is that they have more visitor-based reasons. And let's say they want to travel, they want to go shopping, and things of that nature. And if it is that those are the reasons that precede the filing, then that shouldn't be an issue. The issue, however, may happen if it is just saying, you know what, we need a hand, and you know we want our parents to stay a bit longer because of that, because we have kids or anything like that. So do not use those as the reasons. Sending them out only for 6 months when they've been in the country for 6 months is okay per se, but when you start filing an extension, then you have to be careful about that.
Okay, so Miss, do you feel is it something recommended, or we should try to do it after 6?
Yeah, your reasons, their financial strength in the home country, their emotional ties back to the home country are the reasons they will get approved or denied. So those are the 3 reasons. The reasons to stay here longer, their financial ties and their emotional ties. And the length of their stay in the past may go towards the discretion of the officer to make that call. More than likely that may be overlooked if we have good reasons for them to be here, number one, and the other 2 that I was talking about, which is the financial strength in the home country and the emotional ties back to the home country.
Now for financial strength, we have the bank statement, but the property documents are locked up, so we cannot provide those. And brother is there, so do you think should I do or I just keep it? That is my main question to you. Because of 6 months back-to-back travel, I am a little bit worried.
Yeah, so I mean, you can avoid it and they want to file it another time, that's fine. If they have the financial strength, I would still say it is something that's workable or doable.
Okay, so can I visit your office and try to have a consultation and understand whether this case is doable or not?
Most welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And for that, I would like to once again give you the number to take that appointment that you need to before seeing her. 972-361-0606 is the number to get that appointment, and also ahluwalialaw.com is their website. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. My name is Rajat. I have 2 questions. My green card was filed with USCIS in July in EB1 category, and I just got my 765 approved last week. And first question is, should I get on to my EAD or should I still stay on my H-1B until my green card is approved? And I just got my 765 approved last week. And first question is, should I get on to my EAD or should I still stay H-1B until my green card is approved?
Yeah, I would stay on the H-1B, but just keep the non-immigrant status going till you have the green card approved. So when you say you were filed in EB1, or you filed in EB1A, extraordinary ability alien?
No, it was EB1C and it was concurrent filing.
Okay. Yeah, so I would just definitely wait for the I-140 to be approved first.
Okay. And
Moving on.
as I have not received my card yet, the case is approved. Probably I'll get my card in a week or two. Can my wife start to apply for the jobs?
Yeah, so if it's been tentatively approved, then yes, she can apply for jobs, but her work authorization will only begin once she has that card in her hand.
Okay, and normally how much time it takes to get the card? It was approved last week. Exactly.
It should not take more than a week or 10 days from the time of the approval for them to print out the card and mail it out to you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All the best, Roger. You take care. Bye-bye.
Good day. Bye.
All right. Thank you for your call. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. You are our next caller. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Hi, Pallavi. Thank you for taking my call. I just have a question. If I convert I'm an H1. If I convert my H1 to H4, should I quit the job immediately from the date of filing the application, or once I get the H4 approval, then at the time should I stop working?
So you're allowed to maintain your underlying status if you're working till you get your H4 approved. That should be okay. You could also, and the H4 form, the I-539 allows you to put in a date in the future where you want to change your status. So you could change it in 3 months or 4 months, and at that point, if the government comes back and approves it in those 4 months, then from the time of your approval, you can stop working and you wouldn't have the H-1B anymore. So you have an option to give up your work and be on a pending status and not use your H-1B, and you have an option to use your H-1B till you get approved.
Okay. What I understood is either it is my choice. If after filing the application, I can quit and I can wait for the decision, and at the same time, I can continue work. Once it is approved, I can stop working. Both I can do, right?
Correct. And you can also have a future date on the 539. So, say, for example, you think that you want to work till the 1st of January, so you can put your conversion on from an H-1B to H-4 to 1st of January. Right, so you can put on a future date when you want to be in H4. So you have an option to put that in your form.
That means from the 4th of January, H1 to H4 conversion will start working start on 4th, is it?
No, it still has to be approved. It still has to be approved by the government. But they will give you from the 1st. Even if they decide it in February or March, they will still give it to you from the date you wanted it.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for your call. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. If you have a legal question for Pallavi, now is the time to call. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question. Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question. All right. Looks like we have to probably move to our next caller. But do want you to call us back. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi. Good morning. I would like to know if I am a citizen since 2003, and I would like to know how long I can stay if I go to my original country.
You don't have any restrictions, sir. As long as you file tax returns here and you're bound to the obligations of being, you can live abroad. There are no restrictions.
I didn't say again, please.
You don't have any restrictions. If you're a U.S. citizen and you're going and living abroad, you're allowed to do that. There are no restrictions on your presence in the country.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All the best.
All right, thank you for your call. And once again, this is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Their website, ahluwalialaw.com, 972-361-0606 is their number for private consultations. Moving on to our next caller, Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi, please.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Thanks for taking the call. Hey, I have a question actually about my reporting my priority date. So I have applied my green card in EB2 category and my 140 is approved, and I'm trying to move to a different employer. So I know I can put the priority date, but my question is initially when I applied my priority date, my green card, I was applied in I was Java developer, so I applied in that role. But now I'm in kind of test automation, but it's the same, but in the same field. But so I'm just trying to ask you and get your advice about the portability. Is it because I'm looking at online, I'm getting mixed responses. So I'm just
let's deal with the question. So when you applied as a Java developer, was your code 15-1132?
It's something,
what your underlying .NET code was?
I don't have the code. Actually, it says computer engineer applications, something like that. Computer engineer applications.
That should be, I think, 31 then. That's 15-1131. And is the automation job that you have right now, is that also in the same code?
The code might be different actually, because I think the code might be different.
Okay. So now my other question back to you is, once you're leaving from this employer, you still have a 485 that has been filed. Are you trying to use AC21 principles to argue a porting, or are you planning on starting your PERM and I-140 all over again?
Yes, I haven't started. Because I haven't got my. I haven't applied for 485 yet because mine is 2012.
Okay, you haven't.
Yep.
So then the code does not have any. It holds no value, as in whether you were a software developer before and now you're going to test engineer or however else the new company will file for your labor certification, because there doesn't have to. So for you to put the priority date, you're not required to have the same or similar occupation requirement currently. Okay. However, later on, if you were to have your 485 file and you're just trying to port your green card itself to another employer using AC21 principles, that's when you have to be in the same or similar occupation. So right now, porting the priority date is not an issue.
Okay, then since I had 45, I had ported 485, so I could be able to move to different, and I could be able to still port my date right now.
Correct. And it's been open for over 6 months, correct?
Yeah, it's more. It's actually approved in 2013 actually. So so if I move it now, it's definitely more than that.
That's fine, and it's important. And this time, when it's running so far behind, these 3 years would make a lot of difference in how your priority dates come up on the visa bulletin. So it's good. Put those dates, and there should not be any issue if you have a different job classification or occupation code.
Oh, sounds good, ma'am. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All the best. Of course.
All right, thank you so much for your call. Going to move to our next caller, and do want everybody else who are trying to reach Pallavi at this moment, I want you all to know that Pallavi will be here after the commercial break that comes at 11:30. So we have little less than 3 minutes left on the clock before we hit that break. But yes, Pallavi will be here to answer more questions. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. Very quickly, please ask your question to Pallavi.
Yeah, I have a EAD and AP that is going to expire in 120 days, and I want to file an extension. So I want to know what all documents are needed for extension, because right now I'm not employed. So is it okay to do an extension right now?
Yeah, you always have to have your EAD and AP valid. That is a requirement. So later on, if there is ever an RFE on your adjustment of status from where you have these benefits, before they approve the adjustment, they want to make sure that you always had employment authorization. And now, at At this point, they're not checking whether you were actually employed or not. They're only checking to see if you had employment authorization. So you have to be mindful about that. Okay? So, so yes, do apply and just make sure that your unemployment dates don't exceed 180 days, because that may cause you an issue if ever discovered.
Okay. And what all documents are needed for extension, like I-94, AOS is pending?
Yes. So you'll have to have a copy of your 485 receipt. You'll have to have a copy of the previously approved AP as well as the EAD. These are two separate applications on two separate forms. You'll need passport size pictures both. Just be sure about the passport size picture requirements right now. They've changed them. Glasses, if somebody are wearing, are not allowed currently. It's just an announcement that just happened a couple of days back. So be mindful about that. The filing fees, of course, and those, a copy of your passport that establishes your identity, a copy of your driver's license front and back. Those are
all right,
the basic set of documents.
All right. Pallavi, we'll be running into a break, and for all of us, all of you listening right now to us, and you have a legal question, hang in there. Pallavi will be staying with us a little longer to answer all your questions.
Signature.
Turn off your radio before you ask your question, and we are going to continue here your business matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. And once again, the number in the studio 972-235-5555. If you want to seek a private consultation, then you must give them a call at 972-361-0606, and their website is ahluwalialaw.com. Once again, do want to bring back our star of the segment, Pallavi, on the airwaves, and thank her for staying a little longer to answer all those incoming calls. Well, thank you so much, Pallavi.
Of course, my pleasure, me too. Thank you again. And I know I'm going into the hour where everybody is listening to lovely music from you, and we're here talking a dry topic about immigration. But let's continue with the calls, because I know I was a little behind and did want to stay on to answer more questions.
Well, thank you so much, and it's not dry at all. This is the most important thing our community wants to know from you, and thank you for finding time on your busy day.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Yeah, hi. My question is, I was working in a location A with a company, and they filed my 140. It is approved. With the same company, I moved. They have a different office in a different location. So I moved to a different location. Now, can I, when the priority date, when it becomes current, should I go back to the old location where I filed my 140, maybe 485, or...
So it's still the same company with different offices?
Yes.
Was a labor test done in the market where your old office was?
Labor is
where
done,
did you do the recruitment?
Yes.
So it was done in that old office. So when the employer does offer you the final offer letter, that would be accompanying your 485. At that point, they will have to include that the job offer remains as is.
Okay, does that mean I have to go back?
So, and that would just depend on what the company wants you to do, as in if they want to be working for that particular subdivision but from a different location, that would be their adjustment to make. But that has to be their promise. So if you're asking me a simple question like you have to go back, then yes, that if the company is giving you a letter that says that the job is open there, then that does involve you going back. That's what they're promising.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you for your call. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Thanks for taking my call. I just have a quick question. My parents are here on a visitor visa, and they'd like to stay for longer than 6 months. When is the right time for them to file an extension? And can you please go through just let me know the process. Thank you.
So are they going to be here, let's just restate this, have they already been here for more than 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, it's just been 1.5 months now.
Okay, so they should not be filing for any extension up until their 4th month. Just make sure that they don't do that. And then so there are 3 things that an extension is based on for the visitor visa. It is why do they want to extend their visit? That is a number 1 question, and the answer should fall more towards visitor-based reasons, which is travel and tourism and shopping and all of those kind of reasons. Secondly, they must have the financial strength in the home country, and thirdly, they must have emotional ties back to the home country, meaning they should be other family members whom they want to return back to their home country. So as long as you can hit up on all 3 of those prongs, getting the B1 B2 extension should not be an issue, but you have to wait to file.
But the primary reason is to help the child actually.
You cannot bring that up because you will get that denied. So if you're going to say that they are here to help with the child, then the answer that the government has is hire somebody local.
Oh.
So they don't understand the South Asian relationships, unfortunately, and how parents take care of their grandkids and so on and so forth. That's not something that is a clear understanding to the USCIS. So that kind of a request will get a denial.
Gotcha. Thank you. The earliest we can file is after 4 months, right?
Yes, 3 to 4 months.
Okay. And what are the forms that we need to do?
You have to file, so make sure that you file on 2 separate forms for each one of them. Just don't have them jointly done, because if you do, then if one gets denied, the other one does too, and they both will have to go back for the visitor visa stamping back to the home country if it does get denied. So this is fairly something that you should be aware of how to do completely when you file. What you'll have to do is use the form I-539.
739, okay.
No, 539. I-539.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your question and all the very best to you. Moving on to our next caller. Panisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Thanks, Pallavi, and thanks, Panisha, for taking my call. This is a brand new requirement that I have. I'm running some kind of business, and that business is going down. It's very specialized business, like blood lab work, and I'm not making enough money, and I need investment and everything, and I'm willing to sell it to my friend who is currently working in UAE, but he would want to move here in US as a investor visa. The business has very good prospects. Okay, it can actually increase to multifold what it is today. Either I can make him a majority partner, or I can just sell the business to him for him to grow. He is very good in management and everything. So the question is that possible? How much money required for him to invest in? And the business already employs 2 people.
All right, very good. A good set of information. Just at an outset, that seems like a qualifier for an E2, but I would like to know the investor's country of citizenship. What is the country of citizenship? Pakistan. Okay. So Pakistan is part of the E2 investor free trader program with the United States. So and bringing in about 70,000-80,000 should be plenty. But the funds have to be invested here, and that has to be shown. Having 2 employees is good. A good business plan that promises more growth here. So it looks like it's a lab, correct? Is it a lab?
Yeah, it's a lab. Today we only do the water analysis, but we are adding blood analysis, but we are out of money now. And only someone invests. Yeah, it's very good business model actually.
Yeah, so at least I would say at a minimum 70,000, and putting together and growing the business and making the projections. It should have a business address. The employees is great. The fact that it already does have employees. As long as the investor is over 50% partner, the investor has a good chance of being able to be given an E2 visa.
And 2 more questions. One question is how long it takes, and second is your phone number.
Yeah, so Meetu will keep on answering my phone number. I'll quickly give it to you also. Just now, it's 972-361-0606. The time that it takes is as long as you can successfully build up have the required paperwork and build up the investment in terms of the money that comes in. The money has to be right, so it has to be traced back and it has to be very clear to the government, because that's a huge point of audit right now currently with them. That's one thing. And the case itself, based on the appointments that are available at the consulate that's closest to him, you said he was in the UAE?
UAE, yes.
Yeah. So it's going to be the consulate there, or he can go back to Pakistan for stamping. And people get approved within, I'd like to say, a few weeks of filing. And the appointment times are pretty visible when you file, and you have to file it at the consulate with all the paperwork. And that way, at the first time itself, he gets approved and he can come in.
Okay, and this is going to be 1 year or 2 year initial visa?
They usually give it for 2 years.
Okay. And your number is 972-631-0606?
No, let me pass it to him, Pallavi. It is 972-361-0606. I hope you have it down. You can go and check for their number and their physical address on ahluwalialaw.com. Thank you for your call, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi, please.
Hi, Pallavi. Thanks for taking my call. I have a question to ask you. I'm a citizen of the United States, and my mother and my father have applied their green card, and they're here. And I give them an affidavit of support. Now I need to know, is there a way? They've been here since 3 months. They got their permanent residence. They got the residency, and I have filed the affidavit of support. Now my question to you is, would they be able to apply any sort of federal or state benefit like Medicaid?
No, not allowed to them. And the reason is that you have promised to take care of that so that it will not dip into any federal benefits. So
What about
40 quarters? 10 years. 10 years is how long you're bound for 40 quarters.
Until the end of my father become bound for 40 quarters, he's not working. He's like 71.
Yeah. So it's either they contribute for 5 years to in terms of taxes, or they have to be these 40 quarters that pass for you to be, you would remain responsible. There are no federal benefits that can be obtained for them right now.
So I cannot have any kind of benefits, neither federal or state or county.
So the state benefits are not per se denied to them because this is a federal form, the 864, and the promise is not to dip into that. But if that is a question that you may be aware that at a later time when they do apply for their citizenship, they may have a problem if they've dipped into any benefits because the promise that you make to the government when you file the 864 with that affidavit of support, it is that you will take care of all the financial expenses.
Alrighty. Thank you so very much.
All the best to you.
Thank you for your call. All our listeners who are tuning in just now, this is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices, and the number in the studio is 972-235-5555. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yes, hello. Is this me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question. I have a friend. He want to open a business over here, and his daughter is already went to school over here already. But he want to become a resident over here, and he want to open a business. What is the requirement for him to become a resident in the U.S.?
So he's abroad and his child is studying here is all you're saying, right? And this time your friend is abroad?
His daughter is already went to school here probably about a month already. But,
yeah, okay. Yep, he does not live here. He lives abroad. Which country is he at?
He's in India.
He's in India. Okay. Yeah. So the only option available for somebody to come and run a business and come and get immigration from India
They never have any business over here yet. Not yet. Yeah.
Yes. That's that would be the EP5 program. You may want to look that up. It requires $500,000 in a targeted employment area, and the requirement to hire 10 full-time U.S. workers or green card holders here, or $1 million in the Metroplex without any hindrance to whether it's a targeted employment area or not. So those are the requirements. The money has to be clean. The business plan has to be strong. Money has to come in here into an escrow account, and everything has to be set up for him to be able to obtain that. So it's $500,000 in a targeted employment area, or it is $1 million, which is going to be unhindered or unrestricted.
So at least $500,000, and how many employees need to be able to perform?
10 employees.
10 employees, but it's not count him, right? 10 employees without him.
Correct. They have to be U.S. citizens or green card holders, yes.
Oh, okay. They all have to be U.S. citizen employer.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, thank you so much for your call. And look at me, Pallavi. I know you had to rush, you said, and you were trying to find a little extra time for our callers who were trying to reach us, and we have almost reached the end of the segment. And thank you so much for hanging out with us a little longer for all those callers.
My pleasure. I was late. I needed to hang out a bit longer. So thank you, Meeta, for hosting me so well, and I look forward to next week.
Thank you so much, and happy Karwa Chauth to you.
Happy Karwa Chauth to you and all the ones that are observing the festivities today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
The moon comes out early for you all.
I hope so. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.